What's up, guys? Welcome back to Built by Getroman. In this episode, we'll be solving another coding challenge from CodeWars called Abbreviate two-word name. I'll be navigating today, working alongside with Simon, who will be driving the coding challenge. As always, feel free to hit us up on Discord if you're interested in pair programming with us or have any feedback for our strategies and how we implement our code. You're more than welcome to join our community. Find the link in the description below. All right, let's move on to the coding challenge.
Hello. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Simon, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Having a pretty good day.
All right. So I'm ready to go with the coding exercise with it.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's your turn to pick and
Okay. All right.
and drive.
Okay. So right here on VS Code is the coding challenge from CodeWars that I will be attempting today. So just looking at the challenge on the CodeWars website, it is titled Abbreviate a two-word name. Yeah, well, let me click on this really quick and read the description of the problem. So this problem states, write a function to convert a name into initials. This kata strictly takes two words with one space in between them. The output should be two capital letters with a dot separating them. For example, Sam Harris equals capital S dot H. Patrick Freeney would output capital P dot F. Okay, sounds pretty straightforward. I was just a little confused with the second sentence. This kata strictly takes two words with one space in between them. Okay, so what they're saying is that as far as input goes, input will only be two words, so no other kind of input such as a number or a symbol. So two words along with space between those words. So it'll always be in that format. All right, cool. Good to know. And all right, so when we receive that input, two words with a space in between, they want us to write a function that will output the first letter of the first word in capital followed by a dot, and then the first letter of the second word in capital format. So yeah, again, Sam Harris equals S dot H. Is that how you're reading this problem too? As far as what they want?
Yeah, I think yeah, pretty much. It sounds like you're on point with that. They have two words in the string, so we gotta take those two words, grab the first letter, bring them back together with the addition of a period or a dot between them. That sounds that sounds about right.
Right. I got another question too. Okay, I wonder if we get an input where the letters are not capitalized. If we need to convert them. But these two examples, it looks like the first letter of each word are capitalized. I'm looking at the examples here too. It looks like they are capitalized. So I don't think we even need to even capitalize anything. With that being said, so I'll just keep that in mind as well. So all right, so I'll just go ahead and
that could be
what was that?
Yeah, no, I'm saying that could be an edge case that we can write down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who knows? Okay, yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and write that down real quick. Words may not be capitalized. First letter, I guess. First letter word may not be capitalized. Oops. Okay, so let me just go ahead and break down this problem as far as the steps that I am planning to take to solve this problem. So breakdown. So the usual. First, I would declare a function that would take in a string as an argument. Then from there, we need to do something with the string. We will have to separate the string by words. Separate the string. Separate words into the separate words. So let me spell that correctly. Separate.
I'm gonna add an example here.
All right. Well, that works then. Yeah.
Cool.
So from here, we'll get first letter of each word, and then in addition to that, we also want to, that's all we'll need as far as what we need to do with the words. So from there, we'll take first letter and add a dot, then take first letter, add a dot, we'll add a dot between the first and the second letter. Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay.
So add a dot. So I'll just do this. That is a dot between first and last, first and second word. And then we'll just return this new word. All right, let's see, A, B, C, D. All right, so Yeah, as far as how I will be approaching step B, get first letter each word. So let's talk about the methods that I will be applying to the solution. So the input will be a string. We will have to convert it into an array. So I'll just have to split it. So split would be one of the methods that we'll be using.
So
Let's see.
That'll fall into like separating the word, right?
Correct. Yeah, so that'll be up there underneath A, not necessarily B. So
Split the word.
After we split the word, we have to let me see.
You get something like this. As you write, I'm just gonna like mimic what would happen.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta find or after splitting the word into an array, we still have to dig a little deeper, one level deeper, and we have to get the first letter of each word. And I'm not sure how to do that yet, but
okay.
We can loop it, of course. So let's see. I can loop it and then just write an if statement that'll return the letter that's capitalized. Yes. So I'll just do that. Yeah. Assuming both words will start with the capital letters. You see what I mean?
Yeah. But these also too. Yeah. That we can definitely try that. Something to think about too. Like these are strings, so you can definitely like grab like it's sitting in index 0 in itself. So like whatever, like you're saying loop over it, right? So
yes.
When you loop over it,
or
you can grab the first, somehow convert this. Like I feel like there's a way to like grab it as index 0 because it's sitting in the first position.
Yeah, use the index of 0. Yeah.
Something like that.
We can loop through it and use a for loop, and then we can use the index of and then it'll be index of 0 to grab the first letter. Or we can break down the entire
string.
2 words into individual strings too. I think I'll take that approach. Yeah, splitting the entire input into the individual strings. And hopefully, that edge case. If it's there, then I can change the approach. So all right. So step A, separate the words with the split method, and let's see. All right, B. So that method would just be to get. So for this, I will use a for loop step B, and I need to find out if it is a capitalized letter. So I know two uppercase. I'm thinking right now of 2 uppercase, but that's to convert a lowercase to an uppercase. So I'm trying to think of a method. I guess determine if the string is a capitalized letter or not.
Or
would you have? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, or just like do it automatically, like just uppercase it regardless. I mean, you could do a check to see if they are or aren't uppercase, or you could just implicitly just do it, just like no matter what happens at the end, just uppercase it regardless.
Yeah. Well, I want to check it because I don't want to convert, I guess, all the other strings in the word to an uppercase. So I'm just trying to, for example, for Sam. So we're gonna. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, I should have been more clear. I think what I'm referring to is just the first letter, not the whole string. Like how you're supposed to get this here at the end.
Yeah.
That once we get these 2 things, like right before we concatenate them, that we uppercase them, like just do the automatic uppercase.
Okay.
Or do
why would we do that?
Because
since they're already uppercase.
Well, for the edge case.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very sure that the hidden test, I'm very sure they have a lowercase s in there somewhere.
Yeah. I have a good feeling. Yeah, there's probably some words with a lowercase first letter.
Or you could do a check. Just do it if these things are lowercase, then uppercase them. If not.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. So, how would we do the check? How would we determine if a string is lowercase?
Okay.
Yeah, but
I think it would be like after you grab the first whatever method you're using to grab the first letter in the string, that's when the check comes in. Like after you grab it, and you just check to see if the thing is uppercase or not. We could probably look it up, like Google.
Yeah. Yeah, we can look it up as we go. With that being said, all right. So let's see. For adding a dot, we might just need to. We can use the join method. We can do that at the end. So join, and then with that, we can just do this. So this will, yeah, put the dot, or the not the asterisk, but yeah, the dot between both letters.
Cool.
Let's see. Let me look through this really quick. All right, separate words, get the first letter of each word. I guess we would have to create a container somehow and then push the letter into a container. So yeah, I won't write that here. So okay.
It wants it in a string, right? Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Okay.
good question. Yes, the final answer should be yeah, the initials with the dot in between in a string. Correct. All right. So let me just make a note of that too. Good call. Return your word as a string, not an array. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's get going. So first step, declare the function. So let's go ahead and do that. A brief name, it takes a name, and I'll just invoke this function really quick. And this would be s.h. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and I will just create a container that will hold the string as an array. So it would be let. Are you still there, Eddie? I think I lost you.
I'm here.
All right. So it would be. I would just say this would be string, or I'll just leave it as string. I'll also go with names. All right. So this would be name dot split, and we'll just split it between the words, not necessarily the letters. Or let me see how. Yeah, I'm trying to make one more final decision. Yeah, I might use your solution, what you mentioned earlier, index of 0. Yeah, since I don't know a method to check if the letter already is in uppercase, so I think I would just go ahead and use the index of. So I'll just put that really quick in line 16. Yep. All right. So we have the string as an array now, and then from here we'll iterate through the array and get the first letter of each word. So I'll just go ahead and write the for loop. We'll start at the 0 index, iterate for the length of str, increase it by 1 for every iteration. All right, so next we want to, well, I will probably create another container in here. So this would be results. Let me declare outside of the for loop. Yeah, I'll just declare the result container really quick. It'll be an empty, well,
String.
I was thinking, yes, we want it to be a string, but I think before, yes, we convert it to a string, it has to be an array. So I will just leave it as an empty array for now. All right, so inside the for loop, we will be iterating, yes, through the array. As we do that, we want to get the first or the 0 index of each word. So let's see, this would be index of 0. So let's take Sam, for example. All right, so we are given a string Sam, and we want to find the index of. Now, the index of, is it a array method or is it a string method?
I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah. I have a feeling, yeah.
Yeah, they have a string. Index of returns the index with calling string. So for example, in our case, we want to, looking at the example here.
So, okay, so we can use it on a string. All right, we got that.
Yeah, search value.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they have a couple, there's a bunch of documentation.
All right, syntax, the first, yeah.
So I have a question. What are you doing here exactly with the SAM part?
Yeah, so the first iteration we want to apply. So the first loop, I should say. So I0 would be Sam, and then we want to apply index of Sam as well. So it'll be index of 0. So I need to find out how to apply index of to Sam to get S. We want to eventually get the letter S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I follow now. What are you thinking?
So I would have to concatenate or chain, I should say. So I might have to create another variable just to store each loop, because I want to do this eventually.
Right.
Sam. So Sam would be str 0 if I'm hard coding it, but we don't want to hard code it. So I'll just create another container for it. So let's do let name. Nope. Let we already have name. What should I call this?
I'm thinking.
What are you thinking?
I kind of want to do a sanity check real quick because I'm I'm like a visual person. I'm following you, but I just gotta see it in the terminal just to kind of make more sense of it.
Okay, right. We can do that real quick.
Yeah. So
let's see. What question do you want us to check for the sanity check?
So definitely in the for loop, kind of want to see the way it looks, the string that's split up, like.
Okay, I see. It was splitting it correctly, and if we're returning the words in the for loop.
Yeah. So once I see that, then I think I have.
Correct.
Some idea.
Yeah, I got you. Let's go ahead and do that really quick. So for this, it'll be constant.log stri. So this should print out Sam and Harris. Sam and Harris separately. All right. Just go ahead and constant.log. Well, I don't need constant.log, the function invocation. So let me execute this really quick.
Okay.
Node.js. Node new exercise. Let's see.
Unexpected. Oh, make comment this out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. Yeah.
Keep doing that.
All right. It's printing out the letters individually, so we're not splitting it. All right. So I just need just add a space.
There you
All
go.
right. So there we go. Yeah. Well, that's silly, but hey, let's fix that. Let's fix that. Yeah. From here on out.
So we have Sam and Harris.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is Sam is setting index 0.
Yeah, Harris would be index 1.
Okay.
So all right. So that's good to know. All right, so far so good as far as looping goes. And now on to line 27.
Mm-hmm.
As far as how we will get S from Sam, I would declare a container.
Okay.
To store the index. So this would be, I will call this not name. Let's see.
So what are you trying to do? You're trying to grab the letter, right? First letter?
Yeah.
So just call it first letter?
Yeah, correct. I'll just call this letter. Good call. All right. That would be str I.
Mm-hmm.
Then line 27, I'll just chain index up to letter. Okay. And all right, let me look at line 27. So all right, line 27 for the word Sam should print out the letter S. So we can do another sanity check with that.
Yeah.
I would just constant.log letter. I think letter. Well, do I need to declare another container for line 27? I think I might need to.
So this is letter the 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 data type of letters is string, right?
Yes, it is a string. Yeah.
So this could be chained on directly here, right? Since is that because the string index, so string I is Sam. Sam should be a string. I don't
it's
know.
a string. Yes.
We gotta check.
Right.
But since it's a string already, we just kind of add it in one line.
Yeah. This might work, or this should work, I should say. All right. Cool.
Log it out.
So yeah, let's go ahead and confirm that really quick. -1.
-1.
Okay.
So that's the return value you get if the index of the first occurrence of search value, or -1 if not found. So maybe index of. So we need a search value. So maybe index of is not the right one.
Okay.
In the docs is kind of saying that it needs like you need to search something.
Yeah,
so
with
that index.
We're not searching for nothing right now. We're not searching for S right now.
No. I have a suggestion.
What would that be?
So I'm gonna copy this whole line here real quick. Right. So what if we did something like that?
Okay.
So for each, I don't have an example right now, but for the first word, Sam, which is this thing, and then grab the first index, which is S.
Okay.
So
interesting. Yeah. So all right, line 27. So what is this, I guess, operator called? Is it like, it's not like a two-dimensional array, is it?
It's like, it's like diving, because strings are similar to like the arrays almost. Like you can just kind of, what's the term? I forget the term, but like what I learned.
They're iterable, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yes. So like it's almost like getting into like what you call it? You said it earlier. I forgot the term you used when you.
A two-dimensional array.
Yes, two-dimensional array.
Okay.
So basically, like what I'm trying to say here, this may not work, but in theory, I'm just saying like this string I is the Sam, and because strings are iterable, and you can treat them like arrays, that you just kind of go after the first index in Sam. So you kind of you reference the first index.
Yeah. Even though as far as how we're breaking it down, it's definitely not a two-dimensional array, but we could treat it as a two-dimensional array since strings are iterable, so it can be, the string could represent, I guess, an array.
Something like that, yeah. I've seen some examples like that.
Okay. I mean, interesting. Yeah.
This could be off, but you want to just try it?
Let's go ahead and run it really quick. Again.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, so, all right, nice. Yeah, I never knew that. So, good call, good catch. So,
thanks.
All right, cool. So, letters, we have what we need, the S and the H, and from there, we'll just have to join it with the join method and with the dot in between. So, let's see. So the next step would be to join. Yes.
Okay.
Add a dot between the first and second word. So.
Do you need me to look up the join documentation?
Yeah, if you don't mind, but I have a good. I'm sure it should work. Yeah, okay. But never hurts to look at it again.
Join.
All right, so.
This is string.
Whoops. All right, so for line 28, we want to just join S and H. So we just need to do, I guess, letter dot join. With a dot in between. Now my question is, all right, when we change join to letter, will it be, it should be, because right now letter is, so all right, before line 28, letter is an array or are letters string? Letters are strings, huh?
We can, let's do a check. We just do, just for that type.
Okay, yeah. Yep. All right. Executing.
String.
So this strings, yeah. So we might gotta. They are strings at the moment. We need well, some way somehow. And as far as join goes, I think join only works on arrays.
Right. Yeah. That's
So.
concat maybe or something like that.
Oh yeah, we can also concat. Yeah. Yeah, concat is also an option since we're working with strings now. So yeah, let's try that. So I'll resume on line 28. So we want to concat between the letters. So all right, we have letters. Let's see. So it'll just be letters dot concat. I haven't used concat in a while.
Yeah, me either. I'm gonna look that up myself.
Right. So yeah, let's look that up really quick.
String prototype concat. For the example, has two different variables. One that says hello, one that says world.
Yeah.
And
so concat does take in a string argument or several string arguments. Performance, yeah, we don't need to worry about performance right now.
just trying to find it. Okay, so so this plus equals was definitely an idea that I had in mind to construct a string.
Okay.
But I think we should hold off on that and just try this first. And I have an idea using this. I'll just throw it here. Oops, my bad.
Okay. All right. No worries.
Plus equals.
All right. Letters concat. So we want to concat the period between the first and the second letter. So the question is, will concat do that automatically for every? So what I'm trying to say is, will concat apply? So, all right, we have two strings. We don't have an array. I was thinking, should we write this more so like this? Letter dot concat. That'd be. So we want some way somehow to distinguish S from H, and between S and H we want to also concat the dot. So right now S is represented by the letters and H is represented by the letter container. They need to be in separate containers, I would think. But maybe they don't,
Yeah, maybe so for this purpose we definitely yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking concating hello and world will give us, where do we put it though? So we need to do we have to do it like up here in result? So like instead of letter we gotta put result here.
Right. Okay.
And then,
yeah.
I mean, so I have a probably an idea. I don't know if you wanted to go with it or just kind of.
Okay, yeah, because I was kind of lost. So I like your idea as far as so concatenate to results. So let's do that.
So result. Letter. And you had a comma, right?
Yeah.
You had. Let me see the documentation because they had like a good. So there'll be
just be quotations and dot, I believe.
Dot and quotations.
Yeah. Well, the dot is within a quotation, yeah. So yeah, let's try this.
This will be off. I think it's not gonna work, but let's just try it. Something's off about this.
Yeah.
You wanna run it?
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Console.log results.
Oh yeah, result. Yeah.
Screwed out again, line 35. And I'll just comment out line 33. All right. It's not printing anything out. Results. That's
Maybe
interesting.
Goes after.
Okay, let's try that. Yeah. Outside of the for loop. Okay, running again.
Nothing. All right, definitely.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm just adding a string in here just to make sure. I'm sure it'll just print out tests. All right, so yeah.
Concat. I do that wrong again. Let's say string one. We take the strings, concat them, and
letter is a string that's within a container, but I'm guessing it'll convert. I'm not sure if it'll, when it execute at runtime, I'm not sure if letter will, I'm pretty sure, or I'm not sure. It'll, just, I guess, convert the actual value, not the variable within letters.
Yeah.
Which, it should, yeah. All right, concat. Is concat working properly? Let's find out.
If we're actually doing it the right way, because we use the loop, so I don't know if that's like.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're using it in the loop. Let's put it outside of the loop, really quick and see what happens. All right, I'll just put in line 37. All right, executing. Letter's not defined.
Oh yeah.
Because, okay. Yeah, the letter was declared inside the loop. So let me put it back in the loop. Okay. Beacon console.log was. It didn't do nothing earlier when it was inside the loop. That's why it's going on the console.log. Yeah, but just don't want that. That's weird.
Could we you want to try to move away from concat for a little bit and try that plus equal?
Okay, yeah.
Operator.
The the addition operator. Why not? Let's
I'm not really I'm kind of stuck with this one as far as like maybe it'll come back. Maybe it'll hit me or hit us. I was like, what else to do with it? Because I don't know what else to do with concat. To be honest.
Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll just delete it. Yeah, or you want me to comment it out?
Yeah, just comment that out because it could hit. It could definitely.
Okay. True. Yeah, I got you. That moment of clarity may come back any second. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So plus equals. Will it work on string or only numbers?
I think it should work with both. I think.
Since in the documentation it says that plus equals is more preferred for performance purposes. So.
Also, I think like constructing a string. I've used it before to like append letters individually or numbers to like some sort of like variable. So so for example, like if we did result like plus equals letter here.
Yeah.
And then actually you can move this down here. Uncomment this. The only like something should pop up here. The only thing we need to figure out is like how to add the period, the dot in between.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what we have right now, result should equal Sam Harris.
SH.
Oh, SH. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, let's confirm that really quick. All right. So that's equal SH. All right, great.
I just don't know how to. I mean, there's a couple ways we can do it, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you have any ideas of like?
Yeah.
How to get the dot in there?
Mm-hmm. All right. So right now, yes, SH is a string. What if we use a convert the result container to an array like this? Should the plus equal still work for letter?
Try it.
All right, yeah. Let's go and execute this again. All right, so I know it doesn't matter. I guess that's kind of weird. How initially it was a array, but then the values.
SH. But would it be? But once in the form of a string, right?
What was that again?
The return value has to be a string.
Yeah, but the only reason why I wanna convert it to or put it inside a array container first is to use the join method to put the period in between.
Gotcha.
So
you try it.
What do we do? Push. What do we push instead of plus equals? What's the result? Dot push letter. I don't think. All right. So my reasoning behind push would be, which don't make sense, because I want the strings to be pushed into an array, and I don't want results becoming a string. I still want it to be an array. I want to basically, I'll put it in lines 40. So what I'm trying to achieve is this right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so if line 39 prints this out, then that's good. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and yeah. All right, nice. So all right, cool. All right, cool. So with that being said, we'll just have to chain results, or no, not result. Yes, results to join or join to results. Okay, so let's put that in line 36. So our result push letter. Let me see. Let's try this join and dot in between. Okay, constant log results. Executing. All right, so that did not work. All right, so this obviously line 36 did not work.
So that's in the loop. I mean, you trying to do that afterwards?
Oh,
after the loop is done?
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right, it is in the loop. Correct. So we want to do it afterwards. All right, so let's see. Let me just go ahead and put it outside the loop. Good catch.
Okay, what do you got now? Result?
It's still printing out sh without the dot. Join. All right, so just for sanity's sake, let me just take out the dot.
Okay.
And work. Go from there. Yeah.
Okay. I think
so.
Yeah, there's definitely more to join, like more of a pre-work you have to do in order to like achieve what you're trying to do, like the dot. So let me look it up because I feel like I definitely understand what you're trying to do with that. I just don't. How to just yet.
Result push letter.
Okay, I see what you're doing. So you have the two things. You want to join them. I haven't used join in forever. So join has a separator in between. You have to pass, but like, what is it that? Huge that join. Where's the examples? Okay, here we go. Okay, I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Huge that join. I try it. And okay, yeah. So you need to probably need to like capture it. So like So if I did like let's, I don't know, test. Do I have any other tests?
Yeah.
Result.
Okay.
Join, and you had like the period. Is that what you
Yeah,
had?
period.
Whatever. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but something
yeah,
like
let's
that.
give it a try. Let's close the space in between the parentheses. Okay.
And then like log out test.
So we just needed a container for that chain of results and join. Okay.
Maybe I don't know. That's what the example had.
Right. Test is not. Wait, we need to print out test. So let me just fix that really quick. Okay. Executing. Bam. There we go. Nice. Yeah. All right. So interesting. Yeah, we just need to create a container for. I was thinking that too when you was looking at the documentation. I was saying, all right, let's create another container in line 26. Let's call it initial since, it'll be the initial of Sam Harris.
Nice.
So yeah, initials. I'll just leave it as an empty variable, and down here it'll just be assigned to results.join. Did I spell that correctly? Nope. T I L.
Oh, so yeah, you gotta. Yeah, let me delete the let here.
It was already declared.
Yeah.
Right. And we don't want to print out tests anymore. This should be the last syntax error that we have. Nice. Okay, cool. So I think we did achieve what we needed to do with all of this beautiful looking code, right?
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna copy it as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it out in CodeWars.
Yeah. Do it on your end. Yeah, just go ahead and do it on your end since you're recording on your end. So yeah, go ahead and just copy and paste the CodeWars.
All right. Cool. Let's just delete some of these. Okay, and we need to return.
Yep.
Initial. Oops. Return initial. Let's test. Pass the first 5 tests.
Okay.
And I'm attempting to do the rest. And it should work. Oh no.
Let's see if that edge case is in there.
Definitely. Right. So we got some. You should definitely run out your end.
Okay. Yeah.
Expect.
What are you saying?
Oh, so we need to. So the edge case is kicking in with the whole. So we got a couple of tests that gave us lowercase.
Yeah.
Words. So we need to uppercase them.
So
so we got like we just need to uppercase. So like for example, I'll paste it in here.
Yep.
So this is we got that. So that edge case kicked in.
All right, that should be pretty easy. We can just in line 38 we can just use the to uppercase method before. Let me see, where can we put it now? Wait, maybe. Yep, go ahead.
So one idea would be line 30.
Or even before line 38. Okay, so we can do that. So just to uppercase.
Maybe I don't know if that'll work because I'm not sure. See, I'm not sure.
Let me.
At this point, if it's what is it? Is a string? Like, I don't know. So
right there is. This should be a string in line 30. Yeah, line 31 is when it becomes an array, or when the string gets pushed into the array. So let me just look up the method. Unless you know how to change it to uppercase.
Okay, let me. I think it's just to uppercase.
Yep. I'll look it up really quick.
I don't know if it's camel case. I always forget.
Yeah, so it's just to uppercase and camel case. The C is capital as well, capitalized.
Okay.
And this should do it. All right. Let me wait. Yes, I'm still here. So I think that's all we needed. Or is there something else we need to do?
Sorry, my daughter had to go use the bathroom. She's like
That's
rushing.
all right. So yeah, so let me just lowercase s and h down here,
Okay.
just so we can see in VS Code as far as the two uppercase actually working. Whoops, need to comment out line 46. All right, I think that's all we needed to comment out. Yep, it works. Nice. So yeah, go ahead and copy and paste it again to CodeWars.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna add that one to uppercase. So
Or you just add, just add that. Yeah, copy paste that part. Yeah. Less is more. Yeah, that's all we need. Only copy what we need.
Yeah, we're good, bro. We did it.
Nice. Okay. So it passed all the other tests too, correct?
Correcto, Mondo. Yep.
Right. Cool. I'm just gonna remove the comments.
Okay.
Really quick as far as cleaning this solution up. Make it look a little more presentable. Yep. Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. My mic keeps going.
So yeah, all right. I think we need, yep. Yeah, there's definitely ways to refactor this without doubt. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can do your exercise. I think we still have time for that. I guess we have about 20 more minutes if you want to get to your exercise.
I think I would like to just refactor this a little bit because I had an idea of another solution.
Okay, yeah. So what are you thinking?
So I'm just gonna copy this over real quick, and it's like, yeah, it's very similar, but I don't know if it'll work. But I'm just thinking, oops, paste that here.
Yep.
All right, so definitely, what I was thinking was very similar to what you have. But
yeah.
Because I was using regular expressions, I wanted to try something out.
Okay, right.
So I was thinking that we keep all this here. This is good stuff. And then here I would use that. I forget what this is called. I call it plus equal.
Plus equal, or I want to say addition assignment. It could be subtraction assignment, multiplication assignment, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So if I were to, I'm not gonna need this right now. So if I was just to log it out, what was it? Result.
Yes, results.
Right. I should get the.
Yep. Let me go ahead and execute it real quick. SH, yeah.
Okay.
That gives us SH, yeah.
Cool. So if I did something like right, if I did something like this.
Okay. Template literals. Okay.
Yeah, template literals, and then like right. I should get the SH with that extra thing at the end. But let me just, can I run it, or do I have to wait for you to run it?
Yeah. Do you have access to the terminal?
I have to request it.
Okay, yeah. Let's, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Grant an access.
Ooh.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so then.
All right, they added two. Yeah.
So I'm gonna close that like this. I'm gonna run it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I get the extra at the end. All right. So this is the part where I'm gonna just use a little bit of, at least what I learned from FreeCodeCat. I wanna trim the end, like trim the last character.
Yeah.
So I could do something like, I don't know how to do that, but I need to look it up. Again, I did it once. Is it that trim? I forget. I gotta look it up.
Interesting. Yeah. It might be trim. Sounds like it would do the job. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look it up right now. So it's like.
So pop will work too, right? Pop will work only arrays, I'm guessing though.
The last, I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. Like the last character, because we could treat it like an array because it's a string. So maybe, dude, I didn't think about that. But let me try this.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, try trim for sure.
Yeah, and then I'll try the pop too, because I didn't even think about that. To be honest. That's
Yeah,
a great idea. But let me see. The trim method removes white space from both ends of the string. So I just want the end, but maybe this would do it. So if I just trim it, results dot trim. Let me see, console dot log. And I run it. Guess not.
Yeah.
I want to remove the last character.
Yeah.
Not white space. That's not what I want.
Correct.
So do a little Google search.
Yeah. Have you used the trim method before?
I have for white space, but I just realized I'm not trying to remove white space. I'm trying to remove.
Yeah, we're not working with a white space right now. Yeah. Correct. I see it.
How to remove the last char. JavaScript. So I'm just using.
Okay, so trim wouldn't work. I think. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I don't think trim will work yet in this case. Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I'd rather use like a slice or substring. Yeah, it's saying
substring could work.
Yeah.
Nice. So we can use substring, and the argument inside substring would be the length of the string.
Yeah. All right, let's try that. I'm going to do that and then do the pop method too, just to try what you said. So,
yeah.
So results dot substring s. Wait, is that how you do it?
It's let's see. Yeah, you just write string. So it's not string.
Oh, it's the whole thing. Okay.
Yes, the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
The first argument would be the first index, and the second argument would be
result -1. Oh, the result that length.
Yeah, result that length. That's it. Yeah. I don't think we need. Yeah, we need to do -1. To get the last character.
There you go.
Boom.
That
there you go. Nice. So that works. Yeah.
All right, let's try the other way that you suggested.
With pop, you said, right? Or pop? Was it pop?
Yeah, I think so. What was it to how to remove the last thing?
Pop. So
in the array, the last element. Is it pop? Right?
Yes, remove the last element of an array, and it returns that element. We don't want to return that element.
Okay.
So I guess we can still use it. We just don't want to return it, Yeah, okay. Let's just do that. Yep, line 52 looks good. Speech recognition results. Yeah.
Don't know what that is about.
Nope. Yes. So.
Oh wait, what is it here? Type a result by
pop is not a function.
Also, it is not treating it as like an array.
Yeah.
It's okay, so that doesn't work.
Wait, let's see. We can use pop somewhere else. We can use pop before we. Wait, we're not using join anymore.
No, yeah. I'm working with straight string.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm cool. I think I'm good with this. I'm gonna just stick with the.
Yeah, I don't think pop work for string. It has to work for. It can work for arrays.
Yeah. So if I just return that, I'm gonna run it in CodeWars.
Yeah, definitely confirm. Definitely.
Yeah. So let me just copy this and run it. Comment that out. Try this different approach. So we're using a straight string. I'm deleting all this fluff. Let's see if it works.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so I passed the first 5 tests. I'm gonna attempt the last couple here.
All right.
And it works.
All right, nice, cool. So yeah, this is the other way, well, another way to solve this problem without converting the, wait, did we had to use, to iterate through the, the array, well, we had to convert the string to an array first, but we didn't have to put the string into another array with this method, from what it looks like. Whereas, the other method we did push into a container, an array before we joined it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was just kind of like constructing, like as we iterate, just constructing the string as we go along, and then trim the end. I thought trim would do it, but I forgot trim just does a white space. But that's not what we wanted.
Right.
I never really used substring that much. That's the first time. Not the first time, but like, I don't really use it that much.
Yeah, it's been a while since I used it too. Yeah, from what I can recall. Yeah. All right. All right, cool. So we was able to come up with 2 solutions, so that's good.
Yeah. Cool. So as far as like, I think I'm good with this. I think I'm not gonna tackle a new problem. I think I'm
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I would probably try to refactor this maybe offline when I get a chance. Maybe later on tonight or tomorrow. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Let me copy this actually before we get off.
Oh yeah. Copy this. Save this locally.
All right. Cool. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to attempt? Probably not. But I don't know. You tell me. Do you want to attempt to figure out what this is as far as like time complexity? Or you want to wait on that and kind of?
I wouldn't know where to start, unless you can.
Okay.
You can try if you want to, but I haven't really looked into Big O at all, like in a very, very long time. Since I guess purchased that course on Udemy, like a while ago. So it's been a while since I even wrap my head around looking at time complexity and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess I mean, the way I've been doing it is like I still am very new to this and still have a lot of troubles understanding it. But the way I've been kind of trying to understand it is like is like I always keep it in my head that like as like to find the time complexity or like just understand what it is basically like the idea of or the notion of understanding how your code slows as your data grows. And like with that alone, it just kind of lets me know, all right, like I look at certain things like the input and like what's being put in and how we're iterating through that input and like how much does it like the exponential growth of that input, like how much does it slow down over time. So so for example, like one of the things I've been doing is like identifying each, like if I find, first of all, like what is name, like is name an array, is a string, right? I look at methods too, like split.
The method too,
Like what is split doing? So I always like ask myself, like I literally type like what is the time complexity of split?
Of the split method, okay.
Yeah. Right, because that split has to do something. Like it has to. I feel like it has behind the scenes. It has to iterate over name. Yeah. So there's some
over name. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a form of a loop there happening. So what I do is like I document that. I look at the for loop, and what am I looping over? I'm looping over the name, which is an array at this point, right? We convert to an array.
Yeah.
So
it's an array. It'd be string str. It'll be looping over str.
So this would be like, it's O of n. That's linear.
Oh, okay. That'd be O and it's just looping.
Like because we don't know, n could be anything. Like the array, this string, this name could be a really long ass name, and depending on how big it is usually like a linear type of time complexity. But then like inside of it, I don't know, because I don't know what two uppercase is doing, so I would have to like
Oh, that's well. It's another method as well. So yeah.
yeah. So like I need to figure out what's happening here. Like what does
Yeah.
this mean as far as like time complexity, and it plays into like
Yeah.
all these other ones that are like we're trying to figure out. And so is
Yeah.
substring. Like what is substring doing? Substring has to iterate through result, which is a string. Like
Yeah.
there's some sort of iteration there as well.
Mhm.
And like
Yeah.
what does that mean? Like what is that as far as time complexity? So like
Yeah.
after I get like this one, this for loop, this two uppercase, and this substring, I usually
Yeah.
just document them and try my hardest to figure out which is the worst case scenario, and
Okay.
do a bunch of Google research and like assume
Right.
and make a like conclusion as to what's the time complexity of this. I am not
Yeah.
sure if that's the right approach, to be honest, but I'm like trying to stitch it together because no one's ever taught me this, to be honest.
Yeah.
So this could be the totally wrong approach, but that's like the way I've been doing it. I'm just trying to like show you my attempts to like try to figure it out. But
I see. Yeah.
I don't know anybody like that could like sit down and like work with me or us like to like explain it in in like layman's terms, you know what I'm saying, to make it easy for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. So I was just thinking counting operators. So there's a reason to count like operators too as well, but I'm not sure if that'll give you, I guess, I guess an exact, translation to a certain type of time complexity by counting the operators. But but counting the operators, like for example in the for loop line 44, that's an operator. There's something's going on there.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you're actually right. Yeah, I totally missed that. Yeah, I gotta count that. Yeah, there was like a formula I used to follow. I need to like put that back to this. I haven't done it in a while, but I think you're absolutely right. Like that has to be accounted for too. Like if I just don't know how to like put it together. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what to do.
You mentioned that, was it in a live coding challenge or was it in the coding assessment that they gave you in the instruction where they told you to account for a certain type of big O notation, or how did it go again with that?
I'm not sure. I don't recall. I have to go back to I don't remember.
Going back to if we're applying for front-end developer roles, and they're not, senior roles, and they're not for, bank company, I don't think we'll be asked too often. It'll be good to know, of course, without doubt, eventually, but just as far as the assessment that we're given or the live coding challenge that we're given, I'm pretty sure, they won't be asking us for time complexity, especially if it's a junior role. It'll be good if we know it and then we mention it. It'll probably give us the extra points, but
that's true.
So that's just kind of like my take on it.
I think I think there's definitely a fact in that, but you never know. Like you said, they could ask even for a front end row. You'll be surprised too sometimes. So don't be surprised if they ask too. So that's what I'm trying to say. Cool. What I'll do is I'll send it's been a while since I've done any time complexity, but I'll send a formula of what I use in the past. It's just been a long time since I've done it to like figure it out. Just to have it in mind, just in case you get asked, or I get asked, so I can like practice it.
Have you heard of this guy's podcast, by the way? Have you heard of Sam Harris? Do you know who he is?
No, I don't. I never heard of him.
He's he has a podcast, and he's a philosopher, and a neuroscientist. But he's pretty popular, I guess, in the intellectual space, like online. He has an app, a meditation app as well too. So I'm definitely familiar with Sam Harris, no doubt. And I listen to his podcast from time to time. He's a really deep thinker. He questions a lot of things just about life in general, and our
Nice.
existence. Yeah.
Wow. I gotta check him
So
out.
yeah, yeah. If you do listen to podcasts, yeah, check out his podcast too.
I
For
Yeah, I
sure.
do.
All right, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely do podcasts. I do a couple of stuff, the random things, but yeah, I definitely. Yes. If you can just send me his name again, because I'm gonna forget. He's just slacking to me. I'm definitely
Oh
gonna
yeah,
forget
it's
his
all
name.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I can do that. No
Uh,
doubt.
cool. But yeah, I'm good, man. Like this
Hmm.
is definitely cool, and I'm definitely gonna look back at some big old stuff just to keep it in my head because I forget the formula that I was using. But I feel like
Right.
you did a great job as far as like using and sticking with the array solution. I think you definitely pushed through and you got it.
Okay.
So yeah, man,
Yeah.
that was nice.
Mhm. Yeah, you helped me get unstuck a lot. Dude, I lost count. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't see that. All right. Yeah, let me console.log that outside of the for loop. Just little stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of those moments, yeah, really help as far as yeah, us being able to achieve the solution. So I
Cool.
appreciate that as well.
Anytime, man. All right, so I'll talk to you on Slack, and then we'll look for Monday again.
All right, Eddie, it was another good one.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, yeah, you too. Take care. Have a good night.
Oh, you too. Peace.
All right, goodbye.
A few moments later.
All right, so I am back to attempt to identify the time complexity of the solution. I am not that great at identifying time complexities just because I did not go through the traditional computer science educational route. I am a self-taught engineer, so I'm going to probably fumble this, but I'm gonna ask all my viewers and friends that know anything about this to hit me up in the description below or hit me up on Discord to point me in the right direction if I am looking at this the wrong way. But anyway, so the model that I follow as far as keeping me grounded is a gentleman I found on Twitter, and I'll link him in the description below. He described time complexity as the idea of identifying how your code slows as your data grows, and that really grounds me because that kind of gives me an idea of how to look at it. So I'm gonna write that real quick. So I like to follow this other kind of acronym that I learned through a different YouTuber, which I'll also link in the description below. And I'm trying to identify time complexity by following the following acronym. So these are the kind of attributes, if you will, to look for when identifying time complexities. At least that's how I learned in some of the videos that I looked up, because I had a lot of trouble trying to just start with how do I even determine this. So here are the kind of operations or just attributes that you would look for. So the first one being the function call to the outside is something to consider. So I'm assuming these are function calls to the outside because there's some invocation involved, like the split, the to uppercase, and the substring do their methods. So they're definitely function calls that do something. So that definitely falls in this bracket here. Operations, I'm assuming would be kind of like this, the plus equals. There's some operation there, so I guess we need to identify that and see what that does. Comparisons, I don't know if I see any comparisons here. When I think of comparisons, I'm thinking like triple equals, double equals, things like that. I could be wrong. Loops, we're definitely looping, so we have to consider the loops. And pointer references, that's something that I'm always a little confused about, because when I think of pointer references, I think about two things. I think about a pointer reference in the form of an array of some sort if I'm pointing to an index. But I also think about a pointer reference as a variable, like I'm pointing and referencing to a variable. For example, if the string here is pointing and referencing this variable. So I don't know if that's what it means, but I need to kind of figure that part out as well. So I mean, I don't know if I'm doing the right way, right? So I'm just gonna kind of type this out. So one of the things that I definitely want to consider is the type of argument that's being passed in name. So I'm looking at this as a string, right? So this is being passed in here as an argument, and it's a string. So we come to this line here and we're splitting it. So split does have a function call to the outside, and there's definitely something happening there. So I don't know what split is in terms of its own time complexity. It sounds like there has to be some, just based off my knowledge of split, there is some iteration done on the string. I'm assuming it has to iterate through the string in order to chop it up into itty bitty pieces so that we can have that array. So I'm questioning this as to what the time complexity here, what that does, and I think I have to look that up, right? So I'm gonna group that down here and say that this split is definitely something, right? So I guess I should just kind of list this out as this is gonna be, I don't know, A, I guess. I'm using letters. I could use numbers too, but we'll see. B. So let's look at other function calls or anything else in this piece here, in this kind of I don't know what to call it, like a helper tool, I guess, to help me identify the time complexity. But I'm gonna move on. So we have a variable here that's not doing much, just storing a string. Now the loop is the part that's going to be definitely a consideration, because it is part of the kind of formula, if you will. That's the word I was looking for. This formula to help identify time complexity. So there's a for loop. So I definitely need to consider that. So I'm just gonna put for loop here as the third thing that's in the formula to consider, right? So we're definitely iterating through name, whatever that is. And the string could be a short name, it could be a long string, so there's some consideration there, right? So I'm going to just tag this as some identifier to look at here, and then we go to the next line. I'm looking at to uppercase, because that is a function call to the outside, right? So I'm gonna just tag that as well to consider, right? So I'm gonna put that here as to uppercase. So I need to consider that as well. And there's probably a fast way of doing this, but this is how I've been kind of trying to figure things out. Word. So you have the next line. Oh wait, I'm skipping the line. So what about this one here? This is, I correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like an operation of some sort, right? So plus equals, there is a, I'm going to actually cut all this text out, just use these pointers as a reference. I don't need to type this over and over again, but I'm just putting these as an indicator to consider. So right, so this plus equals sounds like it's an operation of some sort, because we are using the result variable to construct a string. So there's some concatenation involved, there's an operation, some plus equal, that'll definitely just add letters to this empty string. So that needs to be considered. And moving down the line to line 50, I'm looking at a substring, which looks like a call. Actually, my bad, I forgot to label this as D. And E will be the substring, right? I'm returning, but I'm also doing another function call to the outside, right? Function call to the outside. So that looks like a function call, some sort, or some method that is being called upon, and that does something. I don't know what it does as far as its time complexity, but we need to identify that there. So I'm going to just label this here and look at these things to consider the time complexity. So we have some function calls to the outside. We have an operation, which again, correct me if I'm wrong, this looks like an operation to me. We have a loop, we have one for loop, and yeah, point of references. Again, I need help on that. So if anyone is listening to this, please help me with the point of reference part to like, yeah, just to clear that up, because I have two ideas of what that is. Anyway, so moving on, I am going to now look these up actually. So, you know, there's some legwork that I do again because I don't know what these are. So I'm like literally going to look some of these methods up as to what their time complexity is. But I kind of have a hint for B, right? So I'm gonna say that its time complexity is it's linear, at least it's a big O of n, right? Because the loop iterates over name, and because name could be it is a string, and it could possibly be a short string or a long string, but it's like it's unknown, right? So we're gonna say that n has some sort of exponential growth depending on this data size or data set. So because as the data grows, my code does slow. But in this example, Sam Harris is such a short string that it could be a quick loop. But what if this thing was like super massive long? Like Sam Harris was like, you know, a bunch of Sam Harrises like in a long string or multiple strings. Like what does that look like as far as the loop is concerned? Right, so I'm gonna say that has a time complexity, at least the for loop itself, as a big O of n, which is linear, and I need to look up these other ones, and then I think my next step after that is to decipher which is like the worst case scenario, right? So that's the other part, right? Finding or identifying time complexity, at least from what I know, it is the idea of how your code slows as your data grows, but also finding the worst case scenario in that situation. So with that being said, I'm going to look at the split method first and do some research on that and just label it right here. Okay. All right. So let's do a quick Google search. Let's say, I don't know, what is the time complexity of, what was it again? Split method, split JavaScript, and see what comes up. So yeah, other people have asked in the past, but let's see what's the kind of what are they saying as far as the solution or the the answer. So what is the running time of split function? Also, how do I view source code such built-in function like JavaScript? Unless the browser is open source, you can't view the source code. Okay, so let's see here. The top answer says, with an empty delimiter, argument split is essentially equivalent to OLEN. What's OLEN? So what does that mean? With a delimiter, it becomes O string length times delimiter dot length, because at each step in the loop, it has to test whether there's a match for the delimiter. Is there any documentation, proof, or test to cite for this statement? Not getting the answer that I want. So it's not straightforward. The complexity will depend on the delimiter. Okay, for every iteration, the string is search or match on that delimiter. Big O will essentially be O length times big O search algorithm, where length is the number of substrings. Okay, more big O confusion for me. We shorten up the query. Time complexity of split JavaScript. I'm wondering what would be the complexity in O string length for the above splitting. The complexity would depend on the regex that you use to do the splitting. For example, it would be O of n, where n is the number of characters. So that makes kind of sense, I guess, because we don't know what n is, so it could be we're splitting a string that's n, and we don't know how many characters that is. So this person's saying it's O of n in your particular case, so it is case by case. But I kind of get a sense that the split, I'm just gonna put O of n here, so it's linear as well, simply because we're splitting name, which is a string, and we're doing that based off the length of the string. So that could be a small string, a large string, depending on the data set, the data size. So I'm gonna say that this is O of n at its worst case. We'll see. Let's move on to 2 uppercase. So let's see what 2 uppercase says in the Googles. So let's see what that is here. Let's change this to 2 uppercase and do a search on that. What is the efficiency of JavaScript .to uppercase method? So this seems like a super basic question, but I'm wondering about JavaScript's built-in to uppercase method. Is the time efficiency O of n linear or O of 1 constant? I always just assumed it would be constant time, but now that I think about it under the hood, wouldn't this method need to go through each character to check if it is lowercase 1 by 1, therefore making it O of n? This person says yes, internally strings have processed one character at a time. One code point really. Okay. Another person says O of n. It's linear. You have to go through the chars and manipulate them. Also note that to uppercase is immutable, so it returns a copy of the string. So again, O of n. Okay. So this person says I've done some performance tests. The duration to uppercase seems to grow linearly with string length, though it's extremely negligible. Okay, let's see what this person says. The algorithm describes string prototype to lowercase of the specification is linear. Okay, so because you have to iterate through each of the characters, which is a loop and essentially some sort of iteration, we're looking at basically big O of n for the to uppercase and to lowercase. Okay, so that makes kind of sense. So we're gonna label that as big O. So we're gonna say, oops. Oh, nope. There you go. And that's also linear. All right. Next, let's look at this plus equals operator. I need to figure out what to call it. I always called it plus equals. Probably a slicker name for that. But let's look this up and try to identify it. Right. So I'm going to go back to my query on Google and look this bad boy up. Yeah, so this is a little funky. I don't know how to... First of all, I need to find the name of this. Forget what we call this. Addition assignment, that's it? Okay. The addition assignment operator. All right, so let's copy this, the addition assignment operator, and Google that bad boy and see what is the time complexity. So what is the time complexity of addition assignment operator? So the complexity of addition... let me hit the first link. Okay, so I'm gonna just scroll through here and try to find some sort of reference to it. I'm not seeing anything. I don't know how to identify this, so I'm going to hit the big O cheat sheet. There you go, and see how could I possibly see anything here that has any reference to the addition assignment and maybe help me with identifying that. But these are data structures. I'm not working with data structures just yet. I'm not sorting as well, at least not yet. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything with the addition assignment. Don't know how to identify that, so I'm gonna leave that empty. Actually, let me just try one more time and just kind of switch up my Google query. So addition assignment operator time complexity. Let's see if anything comes up here. So what's the overloaded assignment? Is that what I'm looking for? Backward. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Chad. Yeah, I'm not sure how to look this up. This is maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe it's not something to consider. So, but let's think about it. So here we're going to be just kind of catenating, right? As we go through each letter. Oh, let me delete these things. We're done with these already. So yeah, so as we go through each letter, right? Where we are taking each of those letters and adding them to result, basically. Therefore, a string will be concatenated over time. So that is kind of like a linear process. I don't know how to identify that. So I'm gonna leave that empty for now and move on to substring because I don't know how to identify that. And my Google queries are not coming up successfully at this minute. But actually, let me this has something here. The plus equal operator in Python seems to be operating unexpectedly unless... Can anyone tell me why that's what's going on here? Okay, so the plus equal is called a compound assignment operator. This is referencing some sort of Python. So this is helpful for me in JavaScript. I'm not seeing anything here as far as like it explaining time complexity, so I'm going to move on. Right, so let's go back. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just leave this empty for now. Don't know how that plays into this. So next, substring. Let's look into substring. Is the time complexity script. I'm very sure there's some oh, look at this. So time and space complexity. We're using regular expressions to search for substring in the string, so time complexity is O of 1. We're using constant space. I don't care about space right now. So time complexity of substring, we can use the index of method to check if a given string is I used substring, not index of. Index of sounds like a more specific thing you're looking for, so that makes sense that it's constant. But let's see, index of, we're checking the substring using strings index of method, so time complexity is O of n. We are checking the substring using strings index of. I'm not using index of, I'm using substring as my method. So that doesn't look like the correct answer I'm looking for. Time complexity of substring method. Substring. Is that the same substring? My guess is, so he's saying, I'm confused with the time complexity of string substring, which I'm hoping that's the same one. I know there's a difference. First, I'm with you. I'm confused as well. My guess is that it's constant instead of linear, but I can't find detailed explanation by Googling. Anyone can help. It can index be done in constant time. This seems like it'd be obvious, but if strings are stored as flexible with like UTF-8, you can index bytes in constant time, but not the characters. So there'd be O of n in the absence of optimizations and being the length of the original string, which that was my first hint, but I did not know, like, because let me go back. The substring, you need to, because you're going through the length of a string, that there's an iteration done, and it could be anything. That at its worst case, there is exponential growth, so it looks like that's another linear big O of n. But let me just confirm as much as I can and make sure that we're talking about the same substring method. And I need to look that up. Like, is there two different substring methods? Is there shorthand or something? Substring versus the one I used, just the actual word spelled out. So that's a little confusing as well. Got one of these deprecated or something. Let's see, the substring method extracts parts of the string beginning at the character at the specified position and returns a specified number of characters. The substring method returns a part of the string between or there's a difference. Right, so the substring method extracts parts of the string beginning at the character at the specified position and returns a specified number of characters. The substring method returns a part of the string between the start and end. Okay, so there is some examples here. 4 and 6 and script. This returns script as well. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right one. Substring, JavaScript substring type. About this one. There we go. Okay, I think implementation of this method may be the same as Java, as O of n. Have you done any effort to find it? This person says, I doubt substring can have O of 1 complexity considering strings have vastly varying length, which makes sense. I'd imagine that it's O of n best, but I don't know F about Java. Okay. My understanding that it should be O of n, as strings internally is an array of characters. Makes sense. No other answers. This is a duplicate. Let's click on this. I'm gonna go O of n, but let's see. That makes sense. You kind of have to loop through the string as well. And yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's looking like this is also big O of n. Yeah, so I guess the next thing is to kind of group these things together, group all these identifiers together. So this is each of its time complexities, at least from my knowledge, my understanding. So this would be, we'll do some grouping and then drop some constants because they're all kind of the same. So, all this would be grouped as, let me use an arbitrary letter here. So K of n, right? Because they're all kind of like linear. And then from here, because they're all the same, so I'm going to use K to identify all of these. Again, I don't know what this compound assignment operator is. If that's what you call it. I forgot the name already. Additional operator, compound assignment operator. But I'm going to assume that there's some iteration involved, or just like we're appending letters to the string. I need to come back to that. But yeah, for the most part, these are all linear, at least for my research. I think the next thing is to, we group them. K would be just an arbitrary letter to group, and N would be the length of the string, or the data that's being passed in. And then we drop K, we drop the constants because there's multiple of these, and we're left with N, right? So the result of that would be that this time complexity at its worst case would be O of N will have a linear time complexity, right? So this is kind of how this would be my final answer. This is how I would look at it. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert at this, so I'm asking for help. For anyone who is watching, please hit me up if this is not the correct approach, or if I'm like halfway there or quarter of the way there. I would truly highly appreciate it. And yeah, so that's it. This is the way I kind of been working with determining time complexities, and the formula I've been using to do so, and the legwork I've been doing to work through each of these methods and function call to outside and the loops and pointer references, and try to make some sense of it to come to a final solution, which in this case, the worst case would be a big O of N, a linear time complexity at its worst case. All right, guys, that was my attempt to find the time complexity for Abbreviate two-word name. Please hit me up on Discord. If you haven't joined, the link is in the description below. I would highly appreciate any type of help to help me narrow down and focus more on how to find these time complexities for these particular solutions. So as always, guys, never stop building, and I'll see you in the next one.